Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, today we are talking about Dalton Knecht, the senior from Tennessee, the SEC Player of the Year. I got to see a lot of him. I didn't see him in person. Tennessee didn't come here this year, but I got to see a lot of him in general at Tennessee, and he can score. He can
He
score,
sure
Colin.
can. He
He
sure
can score
can.
the ball, man. 25.5 points per game in conference play, 21.7 on the season. Scored like 38 in the game against Purdue that they lost in
Yeah.
the Elite Eight. Gosh, that was so fun. This is going to be interesting because people, I think, have Connect for the most part in the what would you say, 7 to 12 range?
Yeah, something like
On
that.
the board, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think most people think he's going to be a top 10 pick pretty comfortably, maybe even as high as 5 to the Pistons. Well, you haven't heard that?
No,
No?
that would
They
cry.
they say the Pistons need shooting and Connect
That's
can shoot the
really
ball.
great. Yep. So can a lot of free agents with all of our
Okay,
cap
so
space.
so just to tell y'all right now, neither one of us are very high on Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
So if you came here looking for Dalton Connect love, we're gonna give the strengths. We're gonna talk pretty fairly, but ultimately, we're not huge Dalton Connect fans.
Let's start with the strengths then, shall we?
Yes, let's talk about what he's good at.
3-point shooting.
Awesome.
Dude,
Whew.
I mean, shooting in general. I mean,
Yeah.
and when you look at his shot, it's probably the best looking shot out of all the draft prospects. I mean, NBA range threes can immediately impact with that. And with that, he's able to attack closeouts because of his 3-point shooting with his vertical athleticism. 39-inch vertical, I believe it was. 39-inch vertical. And that goes with relocating shots, movement shots, stand in the corner shots. I mean, even some self-creation stuff off of crosses. Like, he can shoot the ball any way he wants, and it is incredible to watch. I guess
Yep.
if you want to expand
Don't
on
say
him,
negative.
I
Don't do the
was I was
negative
going
yet.
to I was going to, but if you want to expand on that,
No, I can't. I think. I mean, he has a pretty high jump shot, like high release point as
mhm.
well. So he's comfortable versus late contests, really comfortable. Threes off of movement, jumpers off movement. Like in general, he had a lot of like mid range curls as well. Like it was very Klay
Yeah,
Thompson
yeah,
esque.
off of like pin downs and stuff. I think that's like where it's the most fun to watch him.
Offensively, it felt very Klay Thompson esque.
Yeah,
Thompson's not a comp because the other side of the ball, but offensively, Klay Thompson, you see it. You just see it immediately. The mid range shot is really cool. I think he can cut fairly well.
hmm
53.5% at the rim and half court, which is really um, exceptional, I'd say, on a Tennessee team that didn't have a ton of offensive talent around him. Like he definitely was getting shots up, but he was being efficient at the same time. So I was impressed. I loved watching him. He's a great college basketball player.
Wow,
And
that's almost a negative.
not
The way you just said
backhanded.
that.
It is
The way
not
you just said
backhanded.
that.
There is nothing backhanded about that. He is someone that we're going to remember for quite a long time. Similar like Carson Edwards at Purdue, where he was filling it up. Like some really fun college players, Jimmer Fredette,
Mm,
um, those types of players. And that's it. That's all I got. Those are the strengths.
yeah, yeah. Going to weaknesses, I think we'll talk about the big one last. What's going to keep him, I think, the limiting factor on his ceiling. But I think just to go with offensive things, I think offensively, what he doesn't do really well is playmaking for the most part. I think he can be like a team playmaker, but I don't think he has like he's able to do a cross pretty much, and he can do some pick and roll stuff, which is cool. But I don't think he's quick enough or have deep of a bag enough to really do anything crazy.
Yeah, I wrote down, honestly, we just haven't seen it a ton. Like he doesn't have a ton
Yeah,
of experience as a playmaker. Some of it is, like I said, due to the role he had on that Tennessee team. Like the Tennessee team was not going to score if he didn't score 20. Like they scored probably, I don't know this, but they probably scored like 70 points a game, and he scored like 25 of them. So again, they needed him to shoot. So I just don't know how he was basically a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, but again, it was kind of low volume in terms of playmaking. So
right.
I'm kind of with you, but ultimately it's like I didn't see a ton of flashes that said, oh, he can play make the next
Yeah,
level, which is
right.
concerning. So
Yeah. So he
that
didn't make bad. I guess I guess my point is he didn't make bad decisions to where it's like, oh, he can't play make, but I don't think he has the creation enough to
I agree.
play make for other players.
I agree.
Um, yeah,
Off the dribble ability, I don't like. I don't see the burst. I don't see the burst at the NBA level to be at, at the rim, like on an attack and close out. Boom, I'm at the rim, which is it's hard. It's hard. Like not a ton of people have that burst if you're not a 6'3", 6'4" guard. Like he's 6'6".
right.
Also he did kind of measure in a little bit shorter than I think people thought. I think he measured in, do you have it up? I think it was six
So
five and a
I
quarter.
have 6'6.5". Is
Did
that
I read
wrong?
did I read this wrong? Here, let me pull it up. But I thought I saw 6'5" and a quarter. Connect K. Sorry, let me scroll down. Here he is. 6'5" and a quarter is what he measured in at
Six five
the
and a quarter. Wow.
without shoes. Without shoes. I don't know if you're doing the with shoes thing again. Let's go back and
I
forth
just
on this.
I'm getting all my stuff from one source, so I'm not changing it.
So yeah, I think like if we round up in shoes 6'6", but like he's not that tall. Like I feel like in college he
Yeah.
felt taller. He felt like he was like
Well, that's
6'8".
how everyone feels in college. But yeah, I mean, you're right because he's gonna have to guard smaller players,
So it's like, yeah,
and
who is he guarding? Is he guarding
yeah,
threes? Is he guarding twos? And I don't want him guarding twos. And like, let's talk about the defense.
yeah,
I told you off air. It was like I listened to some people talk about like he's not as bad of a defender as we think, but also he's not quick at all, and also he's gonna get attacked. Like
yeah, and I
maybe he's
think
a fine team defender, but ultimately, if you can, here's my standard. If I do he's 23 years old. So like
yeah, I
defensively,
got you, I got you.
how is he like in 3 years? Is he gonna be a different defender than he was this year? Like Jaden McDaniels came into the league. We said, oh my gosh, he doesn't try on defense. All right, 3 years later, he's trying. How old is Jaden McDaniels right now?
Probably like
23.
24, 23. Yeah,
Let's see, because I know I'm interested. 23. Yeah.
yeah. There
So
you go.
like I'm just like, all right, how much better can Connect get defensively because he doesn't have the lateral quickness. The foot quickness is just not
Yeah,
there. And so if we go into an NBA game and 30 out of 30 point guards or scoring guards in the league are going to say, "Hey, just come send me a ball screen and let's get a switch with this dude on me and I'm going to go score." Like that's the concern you have. It is not I think like to go to comps real quick because like I think it talks about it, but like these guys are better defenders than Dalton Knecht. Max
yes,
Strus, better defender. Aaron Neesmith, I have written down here. I don't think a lot of people have thought about that, but like he's had a good playoffs with the Pacers.
that's interesting.
Neesmith is a high level shooter. I think he's a pretty decent defender. Like not great, but decent. And then Bogdan Bogdanovic, the
The
younger one,
Hawks one,
the
Hawks.
Hawks one. Thank you.
Yeah,
Um, I have him written down too, and he's not a great defender again, but he's not like unplayable. So can Connect be playable defensively? You're gonna have a really good point guard defender, like point of attack defender, and probably a really good five.
when you get to the question about his height too, it's like if he's not guarding threes and fours, he's gonna have to guard twos and threes.
He's not
And
guarding four.
well, I mean, like if he was taller, right?
Yeah.
Um, and when you get down to that, I mean, just to go with you, it's the biggest thing for me wasn't necessarily like his quick like lateral quickness. It was more so foot speed and not being able to close the gap once a guard had going forward, and then he has to come back off of like a step back or something. It was like
Yeah.
he wasn't able to close that gap. Like my comparisons are Terrence Ross. I got Terrence Ross. I got
I like that.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
I like that.
Those are my two. I put Harrison Barnes now, but I think Harrison Barnes is a better defender than both of those two players. So
For sure. I like that.
But I
And
think the
again,
Terrence
those players, Tim Hardaway Jr. is not in the rotation right now for the Mavericks. Like he's not
yeah.
playing because he can't defend.
Yeah, Terrence Ross isn't really in the league, I don't think, right now. So
Yeah, and then I straight up stole it. Like I listened to a lot of and try to read a lot of stuff. I straight up stole this. I think from it was Hoop Intellect who had this, the age concern thing, and I don't remember where he got it from. I think he got it from someone else too. So we're all just aggregating shit. Older players picked. So basically, top 15 picks that are 23 and older over the past. I think it was like I don't know, 10 years.
Mhm.
Doug McDermott, Frank Kaminsky, Buddy Hield, Denzel Valentine, Cam Johnson, Obi Toppin, Davion Mitchell, Chris Duarte, Davion Mitchell. I have Davion Mitchell twice. Ochai Abaji, Justin Jackson, and Corey Kispert.
So you got
None like
Buddy Hield.
who got none of them are got significantly better in their career. Like Buddy Hield came in as a shooter, is a shooter, right? Like
Yeah, but I'm
Obi
saying in
Toppin
terms of
came
like,
in as an athlete, is an athlete. Cam Johnson is a shooter. Like
yeah,
Davion Mitchell is a defender. We knew that at Baylor. We knew he is a defender. So it's like if you draft him, you draft him again because he is a shooter. Doug McDermott is a shooter. So like you're not drafting him to be like, oh well, maybe this guy can start for us in 3 years. No, he's going to be the player that he is right now because he's 23. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in players taking significant strides forward. And that goes for like other players older in this class too. Like Zach Edey, you draft him, he's gonna be a big dude that can, has some offensive talent, but he's just Zach Edey. So I just don't see that ceiling being worth a top. I don't see it being worth a top 10 pick, honestly, but like definitely not like a top 8 pick.
yeah. I don't have him in the top 10 either.
So
Yeah.
what do we like? Like where do you think he's gonna end up on your board? Like by the time we do like we haven't done
Well,
like
right
Jalen Carter
now,
yet.
right now he is. Let's see. I mean, right now he's like 14.
Yeah, and we haven't done Isaiah Collier. I think will like once we do like once we start ranking them, Jared McCain, Devin Carter, those type of players. Bub
I mean,
Carrington.
just to go into prospect rating, since that's something we've been doing, 100 being a Wemby, or 99 being Wemby, and 1 being the worst player ever known to humankind, myself.
Yes.
I have Dalton Knecht in 85, and from last year, because I just started doing range. Like, what was an 85 player for you last year?
Derek Whitehead at 18.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I think Derek Whitehead had higher upside, but I mean, in terms of like the draft landing range, like I think 85 is a place for him. And honestly, that's only purely going off of what I think he could do. Like if he comes in the league and is a shooter, I think he'll be in the league like a few years, maybe longer. But it's because his shooting is going to be so prevalent. But I don't think he's going to be much more than that at all.
Like a Luke Kennard?
I was just going to say like Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard might have been a worse defender than him coming out of Duke.
Probably.
But offensively, Luke Kennard could do a little bit more with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of where he's going to be at, Luke Kennard. That's great, actually. That's a great one.
There you go. Another comp for y'all. So yeah, there you go. There's Dalton Knecht scouting report. Hope Tennessee fans did not listen to this, but if you enjoyed it, leave us a like, comment, share, subscribe. We will be back with a video. I think at this point we're doing them every day, so stay tuned to the channel. We appreciate the support, and we will talk to y'all later.